This is the Aptega multi-tenant portal, white labeled for our CyberDemon MSSP. So we're going to log in here. You're going to see some basic white labeling of the logo, and you're going to see the customers that CyberDemon has within its instance. We make it really easy for you to add additional customer accounts. You can select the frameworks that you'll be supporting. You can define the number of employees, which drives our licensing model. And then you can also give access to your corporate users or your MSSP users based upon what they need to have visibility to. So you can have different teams that have different levels of access based upon which accounts that they potentially support. So you just select the team, give them the right level of access. And in this case, you'll see this assessment plus access is what we're granting access to. And when we drill into this environment, you'll see we can it'll start with a basic assessment, and you can select the framework that you're working off of, assign that to particular users for an approval process, request evidence, add any recommendations that are required, and then we make it really easy for you to distribute that assessment out to your respective customers.
Really easy for you to put in the basic information, and then you go through a question-based process of just defining have you met, partially met, or not met particular controls. You can upload documentation. So in this case, we're uploading a security awareness training policy into our control. And you just go through this process of answering these questions. Once you've completed that, you'll see in our example here, we've gone to complete it, and we're now 59% complete towards our CMMC level 2 goal. And we've got these reports that we can run. So we can run a system security plan. You'll see that it's automatically pulling in the information like the system boundaries and the IP addresses for the information that we've collected. And then now that we've kind of defined our program from an assessment, we can go in and score our program. So what this will do is this will take all that information that was collected during the assessment and allow us to effectively build a remediation plan. So you can see here our current score of our different controls. So in this case, we're going to talk about awareness and training. And you can see here the guidance. You can see that policy that was uploaded. We can provide predefined tasks that need to be completed by people within the organization. Those tasks can go through a workflow. So in our example here, we've moved that task from one user to another. That list of tasks can be translated into a set of into a POAM document. So you can see your planned objectives and activities and milestones. And you can go in here now and potentially sort those and look at just the working documents within your POAM. And as you complete these tasks, you can also document the control activities and the risks associated with this particular control. So what's great about our risk manager is you can go in here and you can document these particular risks that are associated with a control. And then once you've documented them, there's a nice dashboard that you can use to validate all of your risks and have a complete register of your risks. So in this example, you can see the risks associated to our awareness and training program related to vendor lock-in. So we can see all those risks. You can click into the heat map. And because we're talking about vendor lock-in, we can drill in and look at the vendors. So in this case, we're using Curricula to support our CMMC 2.0 program. You can see which controls that vendor meets. We can put in great information about the vendor, documents, contracts. We can also send questionnaires out to the vendor to help us make sure we're doing our third-party vendor risk management. So we can validate that our vendors are helping us meet our CMMC compliance. Once you've validated this, you've moved everything through the process, you can now go through the audit. You can go through and you can upload an import request list from the auditor or the attester. That will have the list of all the information that you need to collect. And the nice part is if the auditor is asking to see particular information that you've already validated through the assessment and remediation process, it automatically shows up within that audit card. So once you validate that you've got the right information, you can move that card to be ready for the auditor. Now the auditor can go in, provide any testing of the controls or validate any exceptions, put in any additional notes. And then your goal with your audit process is once you've taken these cards from open to ready for audit, and the auditors have reviewed the information that's collected, you move all those cards over to completed. Now you've got everything that the auditor needs to validate and attest your compliance with CMMC 2.0. So you can take any of that documentation, export it as a zip file. You can also run a report that will give the auditor validation of all the information that was collected through the process. So back to our CMMC 2.0, you can see there's the auditor's request, there's the evidence that was collected, any notes, any exception details. And then lastly, with Harmony, once you've kind of managed your program to CMMC 2.0, if you need to go back and manage it to NIST 171, or on the flip side, if you've already built your 171 program and you want to move those and see how those controls map to CMMC 2.0, you can do the same. So in this case, we've used Harmony to map our HR and security and training, and you'll see that both CMMC and NIST both have this information security awareness and training control. So NIST 3.2.1 has a requirement, CMMC level 3 has a requirement with AT 2.056. So we've able to manage those things in conjunction together, and then any changes that you make with your program within the mapped program is automatically going to show those control changes and details and any of the evidence collected on both of those controls throughout your program. Thank you for the time today.